Hey, Dave LaCalli with HeadGames Motorworks, and today we are going to port a BMW N54 slated for the CNC and destined for records. Keep watching. Buddy Joel Boland sent this customer Karan to us. Karan's car is already fast, it's already making some jam, but he needs a little bit more cushion for the push-in. We're going to port the intake and exhaust. We're going to get it so it's ready to get digitized. Matt's going to digitize and cut it. What we're going to do is I'm going to move this wall over. Intake port, very small fin all the way out here. We're going to keep the shape, but again, we're going to move the wall over. What we didn't catch on camera was Matt welding up the area for the direct injection. So we got rid of the direct injection. They're only going to run port injection, but we also got rid of the EGR. But instead of just plugging it, we decided to weld it. I've said multiple times on this channel that valve jobs are not just a valve job, they are the most crucial area of any cylinder head on the planet. You really need to know what angles work for that particular cylinder head. It has to work with that chamber, it has to work with that bottom cut. It really is crucial. And the only way you're really going to find that, I have found, is on the flow bench, or you can run it on the car, because sometimes the flow bench lies to you. And that's why I say it's always best to go with the ones that know. All right, now we're on to parts. So this thing is ready to assemble. We got stock size Faria valves. And we also have the GSC spring kit. Now, you're probably wondering, GSC doesn't make a kit for that. Well, that is true, but it is not true for HeadGames because we know the line. We know that they have a different retainers we could use. We can mismatch some other stuff in order to make this right. Hopefully they'll use what we've been giving them. And he's going to make a spring kit. I know they're going to make a spring kit eventually, put it on the shelf. But so for the short term, we have this GSC conical. So GSC Power Division doesn't actually make a kit for the N54, but because we know the line, we're able to use retainers from another application and springs from another application, and we're able to put it together mathematically absolutely correct and install it in Karan's head. Now, the difference here is, to be honest, there is no spring kits available besides this one, which is not actually available yet, but it will be. It will be, I promise. There's no spring kits available that have enough ass or have enough pressure to do what you're trying to do that are commercially available. So any other spring kit is, most of the kits on the market are like 70 pounds or 80 pounds in the seat and like 170 to 180 open. And that's just not going to cut it here. You have to use something that's 100 plus pounds in the seat and 220, somewhere in that area open in order to keep that valve from floating. So let's check it out on the spring tester. GSC spring in the spring tester, and we have a install height of 1388 with 433 thousandths of lift. Press the magic button and we have a successful test. So we are 102 on the seat, 216 open, and 90 thousandths away from quote line, which we'll probably tighten that up a little bit, not on camera, but I'm going to tighten that up a little bit just because of what we're doing with it. And this is right here is 20 to 30 pounds more open and closed than any other spring on the market. All right, we're going to set this thing up for the mill. And some things that didn't happen on camera is we put an AN fitting in here, and we removed all of the water jackets because it's a race car. And when race cars, what happens is sometimes the boost will blow into, well, when you're lifting ahead, it's going to blow into the water jacket and blows the head gasket out, and you're going to get water under the car. Absolutely a scary thing. It's very dangerous. So we run water through the head, but you don't run water through the gasket and have that potential for a failure. One of the last stops for this cylinder head is on the mill to make it flat. You guys ready to check out our assembly process? Let's go. Here is the Trego VFP 500 pneumatic spring tester. It has this nifty little bed here that we always have to cover, and we have to cover the cylinder heads because you don't want it to scratch the deck surface on this. It has these nifty wheels here. These nifty wheels are going to make it so the head would go back and forth. It also goes it so it will go this way or this way. And we also have a way to tilt the head back and forth on the sides. On the top, it has this like little laser to make sure that you're straight. And we had to use a battery powered light just so we can see things, because Trego and all this is like a $8,000 machine, but they forgot to put a light on it. So that way you can see what you're working on. But this obviously, Harbor Freight, come to the rescue on that one. BMWs have a triple groove valve lock, and they make that so that the retainer is spinning much more than a single. Like most of the domestic stuff, early stuff, all has a single groove, and all the German stuff has a triple groove. I can't think of a German that doesn't have it. And they also, on the N54, actually on most BMWs, they have a different size lock for intake, which is the smaller one, and the exhaust has a bigger one because they have much more stem diameter on the exhaust. And that is to combat the heat and make sure that you are not going to bend a valve. So I think that installing triple groove locks is absolutely the hardest thing you can do, because the single groove is super easy. You just have to plop it in one groove, whereas the triple obviously is 3 grooves. Now, there is a trick to it. Well, there's a trick that I learned a long time ago. I put some assembly grease on a pick and I just stick it in there. And I do this because now the triple groove will adhere to the valve. I want it to stick to the valve, that way I don't have to worry about it falling off. I think you guys get the gist of it, because this is going to stick to it, and that way you don't have to play with one lock. I always suggest putting the back lock on first, and then you can put the front lock on. All right, so you see how now it's stuck to the valve, and I can pretty much spin the lock. I don't want to try to lose it, but when you're stuck to the valve, see how it moves with the lock. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but the other thing is that you have to worry about how far down the spring is. When I say that, I mean, you don't want the retainer to be too far below the locks, because when you do that, then it makes it a lot harder to get that lock in place. There she is, looking snazzy. Just loving it. Is this thing going to break a world record? Honestly, I hope so, but I don't know so. I think we have the right players involved. We have Joe Bolin and Karan getting ready for World Cup finals, but not the actual race itself, but he is planning on showing up and being a part of the track rental the day after the race. So the track conditions should hopefully really be right for this. If you've never been to a Jason Miller event, you know that his stuff breaks parts or breaks records. So one way or another, hopefully we're going to break the record, and I will report back to you guys if it happens. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Toodles.